What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 54 of the Daughter and Pops podcast. Today I'm going to be doing a WNBA podcast. There are so many different topics that we have today. I'm going to start it off with tonight's game, tomorrow's games. Obviously, the Olympic team, their roster just came out, so I'll be going over that. We also have all-star voting going on right now, so I'm going to share my team with you. And then I also have a special guest with me today. I have my sister, Olivia Harness.
What's up, guys?
So Liv's going to share her all-star team a little bit later in the podcast. She's going to give some of her thoughts. For those of you who don't know Olivia, she's 10 years old. She's going into 5th grade. She is a very good basketball player. If you don't follow her on Instagram already, it's at liv_harness, LIV_HARNESS. She has made it on Liv. What pages have you made it on?
NBA on TNT, WNBA, which we're talking about right now. I've made it on How to Highlight Her, She Got Game, and multiple other
Overtime WVB.
Yeah.
She's been on so many pages, it's kind of hard to get it. And so I consider her as my famous sister. She is very good. If you guys haven't listened to her interview on NBA on TNT already, you definitely should. Everything she says in there is pretty good, except for the fact that she can beat me, which she can't. But she just had to say that, right, Liv?
Yeah. I had to.
So, okay, now that you know a little bit about Liv, we're going to go ahead and get started today. So, first of all, we have our game tonight. We have the Minnesota Lynx versus the Atlanta Dream. Liv, don't you have a friend on the Atlanta Dream?
Yeah, it's Erin McDonald. I mean, she's one of a close friend of mine and Totsie's. I'm really excited to watch her play. I like how she brings the ball down the court when she's the point guard, and also just moves the ball around, and she's a very great leader.
Definitely. So in this game, Minnesota Lynx versus the Atlanta Dream, I feel like it's going to be a closer game. I do think that they're both 5-7. They're both doing they're doing decent this year. Obviously, their records don't show that they're doing great, but they're having decent seasons. So, Liv, who do you think's going to win, the Minnesota Lynx or the Atlanta Dream?
I'm actually not sure. It's going to probably be a tough game. But I think that it's going to be the Lynx that are going to win that game. Just to be honest, they're a really great team, and I just love watching them.
Okay, that's interesting, Liv. I think the Minnesota Lynx are going to win too, but just to go against Olivia, I'm going to go with the Atlanta Dream because we always have to go against each other in everything because we're so competitive. So,
yeah,
even if we're eating food or dropping food, we'll do who can drop the most food or something, as Liv just dropped a cracker on the floor. Good job, Liv.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on to the games for tomorrow, we have 3 games. Our first game, we're going to have the Dallas Wings versus the Indiana Fever. The Dallas Wings are 6-7. The Indiana Fever are 1-14. So the Indiana Fever aren't having the greatest season, obviously. I'm going to go with Dallas Wings for the win. How about you, Liv?
Yeah, Tati. I mean, this time I have to agree with you, the Dallas Wings.
Okay, definitely. So next we have the Chicago Sky versus the New York Liberty. Liv, you talked about being on NBA on TNT, right? Wasn't Candace Parker one of the people you talked with?
Yes, she is. I got to talk to her a lot just because we have something in common. We're both women, and I was gonna watch her play because we went to one of the
Phoenix Mercury
games, but unfortunately I wasn't able to see her because of her injury. But I'm excited to watch her on TV.
Yes, definitely. So this should be a close game because I feel like the Chicago Sky and the New York Liberty are alike in multiple ways, as in pushing the ball down the court, and they get it to the bigs a decent bit. Obviously, New York Liberty, they're still a very young team. I was going to say Courtney Vandersloot, but I haven't gotten to that part yet. Chicago Sky, they have veterans, but they know how to move the ball around. Obviously, you have Courtney Vandersloot on the Chicago Sky, in which she leads the WNBA in assists. She averages so many assists. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna go with New York Liberty for the win. How about you, Liv?
I'm gonna have to say the Chicago Sky.
Awesome. Okay, next game that we have the Washington Mystics versus the Los Angeles Sparks. The Washington Mystics are 6-6, and the Los Angeles Sparks are 5-7. So in records, they're relatively close. I am not really, as if you have listened to my WNBA season preview this year, I'm not a fan of the Los Angeles Sparks going into this year. So for this game, I'm going to have to go with the Washington Mystics. How about you, Liv?
I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna say the Los Angeles Sparks. When I was on NBA on TNT, they put up a picture of me and Tati, and I had like a cast on, and that was actually at one of the Sparks games. And I got to dribble out on the court, so that was pretty cool. And where are they going to be playing at, Tati?
The Los Angeles. They're going to be playing in Los Angeles. The Sparks have home court.
Yes, so it's going to be exciting to see the court that I dribbled on live TV.
You're funny, Liv. That wraps up the games that we have today and tomorrow. I'm going to get now in... Actually, before I say this part, those of you who are listening, comment down or message me who you think are going to win those games. Obviously, the Minnesota Lynx versus the Atlanta Dream tonight, Dallas Wings versus the Indiana Fever tomorrow, Chicago Sky versus the New York Liberty, and then Washington Mystics versus the Los Angeles Sparks. So message me or comment down below who you think is going to win those games. Right, Liv?
Right.
Okay, so next, the Olympic team roster was just announced. This is a very talented team this year. I just can't believe how much talent is on this team right now. So, I am going to get into this right now. First off, we have Ariel Atkins for the Washington Mystics. Then we have Sue Bird for the Seattle Storm. Tina Charles from the Washington Mystics. Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. Skylar Diggins-Smith from the Phoenix Mercury. Sylvia Fowles from the Minnesota Lynx. Chelsea Gray from the Las Vegas Aces. Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury, Joel Lloyd from the Seattle Storm, Brianna Stewart from the Seattle Storm, Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and Asia Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces. Then we go into their coaching staff. The head coach, we have Dawn Staley. She is the head coach of the University of South Carolina. The assistant coaches, we have Dan Hughes, who just retired in the middle of the Seattle Storm season. And then we have another assistant coach, Cheryl Reeves. She's the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx. And lastly, we have assistant coach Jennifer Rosati from the Connecticut Sun. So I have to say, there is so much talent on this Olympic team.
Yeah, Tati, as you name those names, that kind of blew my mind. That's going to be a really good team.
Yes, a very good team. So I think that if I were to take one player out and put another player in, I would take out Ariel Atkins and put in Nneka Ogwumike because she has been doing very well this year too. She's obviously leading the Los Angeles Sparks to their 5-7 record right now. And I think if it wasn't for her, then they wouldn't be so high. They wouldn't win those 5 games. So I definitely think that besides Nneka not being in there, this team is very, 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 very strong.
Very strong.
Definitely. I think this is one of the strongest teams that the Olympic team has had so far. And I love their coaching staff. I love Dawn Staley as a coach as well. She's done a very good job. Then you have some of the top WNBA coaches. So, yeah, I definitely think this team's going to do very well in the Olympics. And, yeah, Liv, anything else to touch on that or no?
No. I'm excited to watch that team, and it's going to be a really fun game to watch.
Games.
Sorry.
Okay, so next All-Star voting has just opened up. So we're going to do, Liv and I have made our first day teams in which who we voted for. So we're going to definitely be voting every day, as you guys know, every 24 hours. And every time we have a podcast, we'll share our different lineups if they are different. But right now, this is our first team. I'll start off first. In my front court for the All-Star voting, I have Candace Parker. Then I have Tina Charles. And then I have Brittany Griner, Brianna Stewart, Asia Wilson, and Nafisa Collier. Okay, and then next in the backcourt, I have Skylar Diggins-Smith, Chelsea Gray, Betnesia Blaney, and Arike Agumbawale. So I'm going to start from beginning and then to the end. Candace Parker, in the games that she has played this season, she has done such a good job. I really respect her game. Obviously, Liv has a connection with her, and I just think she deserves to be an all-star. Next, we have Tina Charles. Tina Charles has done an outstanding job for the Washington Mystics. Obviously, they're 6-6. They don't have Elena Deladon, and she is playing like an MVP right now. She's gotten Player of the Week multiple times in a row. She's just done such a good job. If she's not an all-star, I don't know what an all-star is considered. Then we have Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is such a strong center. She's dunked in games, multiple games just this season. Liv and I got to witness a dunk in a game from her, which was absolutely awesome. And Brittany Griner, obviously, she's just so strong. Yeah, she deserves to be an all-star. Brianna Stewart, I mean, reigning MVP. She's so good. There's no reason why she shouldn't be an all-star. She's also been Player of the Week multiple times in a row. Then you have Asia Wilson, another super strong center, forward/center. I appreciate her game. I respect her game, and she's very strong as well. Nafisa Collier, yes, she's young, but she has done a very good job for the Minnesota Lynx. Obviously, Sylvia Fowles is getting a little bit older, so I definitely like her as an up-and-coming forward/center. And then my backcourt, obviously, Skylar Diggins-Smith. She's done a very good job for the Phoenix Mercury so far. Then we have Chelsea Gray, who has led the Las Vegas Aces to where they're at now with her being the starting point guard. And then Betnesia Laney, she's done such a good job for the New York Liberty. I'm excited to see her go against the Chicago Sky tomorrow. And then lastly, Arike Agumbawale. She scores a ton of points for the Dallas Wings, and she's done a very good job this season. So those are the reasons why I have my front court and back court all-star voting. Liv, would you like to share your team now?
Yeah, so for my front court, I have Candace Parker, Brittany Griner, Tina Charles, Liz I can't pronounce it, Cambage, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson. And then for my back court, I have Chelsea Gray, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Sue Bird, Ari McDonald, and that's it. So I think my lineup is pretty good. So you guys have to tell us in the comments who do you think
has the better all-star team?
All-star lineup.
I personally think I won in this one, but
like you always think you win, and then I always think I win. So like you never know.
You're funny, Liv. So I want everybody to vote for your all-star team as well. You could share it with Liv and I. You can also message me. Remember, Liv's Instagram is @Liv_Harness. Obviously, mine is @Tati_Harness. And yeah, Liv, anything you have to wrap up this podcast?
No, but just thank you, Tati, for having me. And I think my lineup's going to win.
You're funny, Liv. I think my lineup's going to win, and it will win. But thank you guys for all joining in on episode 54. Liv, thank you for joining us on today's podcast. I think everybody enjoyed having you on here. I enjoyed going over the Olympic team roster, our all-star voting, and then obviously the games coming up today and tomorrow. Thank you guys all for tuning in to episode 54 of the Daughter and Pops podcast.